Hey everybody, welcome back. We're still live and we're still here at Origins Game Fair 2018, live on the showroom floor, which is awesome. We've got Hunter. Hunter's from Steve Jackson Games. Been around a long time.
Yes, very long time.
What do you do for Steve Jackson Games, Hunter?
So I'm the community manager. I run a lot of the social media accounts, marketing, stuff like that. So I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And yes, Steve Jackson Games is pretty much one of the longest running game companies in board games. Yeah, in board game history. And we got a lot of classic games. Actually, we're going to talk about a few of them here, but a lot of classic games happening, a lot of reprints. We keep a lot of stuff in print for a very long time, and we have fans dating back from when we started back in the 80s. So, like, Ogre's been around since then, Car Wars, GURPS, all that stuff.
I remember playing Car Wars, I want to say it would have been 1986 or 87.
Yeah, that's about when it was in its, like, prime. That's its heyday. And then, of course, Munchkin. People know us for Munchkin nowadays. So, yeah, all the generations have a little bit something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what did you bring to show us today?
So we got a few things here. We've got, harkening back to the old school stuff, we've got a couple old school titles here, and we've got something new. So let's start with something kind of old school. This is Illuminati. I say kind of because Illuminati's been in print for a while. I mean, that's our logo, the eye in the pyramid, all that stuff. It's kind of our theme is Illuminati.
Okay.
But this is the first time we've actually made a big enough change to the game to call it second edition. The game's been around since the 80s, but it's we did a pretty big revamp. The gameplay itself hasn't changed. This is still going to be your classic Illuminati. You're trying to build a power grid, essentially like a web of power around your Illuminati by playing cards around you. And the cards have different like schemes and effects. If we want to, we actually pop it open. This is this got brand new cards in
Let's
it.
do it.
I actually got some right here, for example. So like you have
I just don't want to break anything.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So you have like you each have a different faction, like a Bermuda Triangle here. Oops. And there's other. Oh yeah, that one. So we got these kind of factions. The Gnomes of Zurich, a lot of classic, I guess, Illuminati factions.
All right.
And you're trying to build webs of cards around them with different cards like this that have arrows on different sides of them, so that determines where they can go. They'll generate income, things like that.
The Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black Classic. That's actually what our volunteer people are called, so Men in Black. So, yeah, everything's themed around it with our company. So you play these cards, and the catch with this one is all the art on this is done by Lar D'Souza. So this is the first big art revamp we've had in a very long time.
Okay.
He's got a particular style, like a very pulp style to him. I love this art. It's great. He's done a lot of work on Munchkin. He's worked on a Munchkin collectible card game.
All right.
If you've played that, he's the Bard artist. Hackers. The other thing that we have is a lot of more modern references in the game. Modern conspiracies.
Flat Earthers.
So the original game was a very Reagan era, Cold War era. Like that's the references you got. So we've got references to like hipsters and flat earthers. Try to update some of the references so people can kind of keep up and don't have as much Cold War. There's still a few in there, but yeah.
That's cool. And this is available now?
Not just yet, but it will be out a little bit later this year. The due date's September on this one, so we're really excited about that. That's conspiracy theory. So jump into something kind of even older almost. Older, but not older for us. So this is TriPlanetary. TriPlanetary is a reprint of a game from 1973. So this is pre-Steve Jackson Games, actually.
I was 1 year old.
Yeah, you got this on your Christmas. 1 year old. No.
Yeah, 1 year old. I was playing TriPlanetary.
This is designed by Mark Miller. He was the original designer for this, and this is a game that Steve actually loved. Original edition actually came in a cardboard tube, rolled up map.
Wow.
Just low. Let's say low production quality.
Sure.
And then
probably high for 1973.
Probably high for 73, exactly. Yeah, there weren't a lot of hobby games running around at the time. So this came out in 73. The second edition came out in 81. Steve got the rights somewhere in the late 80s. And which is kind of a cool thing, like getting the rights to your favorite game. Like he actually considers TriPlanetary like one of his favorite games. So he gets the rights to make it. And that happened. We have this article on our website because our website's was early internet. So there's an article on our site that's like, we're reprinting it. It's 1990 and it's coming out. And then we got raided by the Secret Service, and certain things kind of delayed it a bit. Yeah, exactly. So we didn't get to make it then, but we did kickstart it early this year, and this is delivering to backers. Now it's going to retail. So so the game itself is really interesting. It still has the old school look. We definitely wanted to keep that with this. The artwork. We still have like the punchboard counters. We've modified a few of the numbering is a little bit clearer, a little more stats on the counters itself. But the big draw is actually just the system and the way you move. So you have this big board. Like, I'm just going to clear some space here because this is half of the board. I'm just going to be clear about this. This is half of the board.
This is a 6x6.
Yes.
So it's literally a 12x6 or 12x12.
It's 2 of these.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You don't have to play this with all this, but this is an option in the game. It is ridiculous. It's bigger than Ogre, really.
Yeah,
it's
this is
huge.
ginormous.
It's so the cool thing is the system is based around a movement system that's all like inertia based. It's like space.
Yeah.
So let's say I start on a spot here. Like, that's my starting zone.
Okay.
You spend fuel points. You're trying to convert. Whatever's a good spot for you guys. You're trying to spend fuel points to move around. So, like, say I want to go. Like, right now I'm standing dead still, and I'm in space, so I don't automatically move. I have 10 fuel points. I can spend 1 fuel point to move to this square, like 1 square over.
Okay.
So you're going in that direction. Now, if I don't spend any more fuel points, I will just keep going in that direction ad infinitum, just forever going off.
Okay.
And never spend any more fuel. But if I want to change directions or do whatever the case may be, so this is my next spot, I can say, well, I want to increase speed 1 space, so I'll spend 1 more fuel point. But then I'm going
faster in that
direction. Can't draw a straight line to save my life. So just straight there. So then if I want, from then on, if I'm going straight, it's just faster and faster. Right. And you only have limited amount of fuel points. Plus, depending on the scenario, the game will be different based on what you want to do. So you might not want to just go fast. There are races. You can set a scenario to race. You can also do pickup and delivery stuff. You can fight space pirates and just combat in the game. There's a bunch of different scenarios that range anywhere from 2 to 12 players, so you can play a lot to a little.
Wow.
And you've got the actual this is our solar system, just kind of named a little differently. And you've got gravity on the planets too. So like people have been asking me, you can slingshot to get around planets, things like that. Their gravity affects you similar to spending those fuel points. So it's using your fuel wisely.
Right.
It's using gravity and like the forces of the solar system to your advantage to save the fuel and doing things efficiently and fast, or shooting people, which is always fun.
Yeah,
and this is going to be out in retail really soon. Not out just yet, but just finishing up all the delivery to backers and then hitting shelves.
So you thinking like around Gen Con time?
Yeah, it'll be out before Gen Con.
Okay,
so, a little bit later this month.
All right,
likely.
very cool.
But yeah, we're excited about
you said this is for up to 12 players.
You can get up to 12, yeah. Woo! The race scenarios, a lot of the more popular scenarios in this are like the racing, just throw some ships on the map and go. Who can get around these checkpoints the fastest? And you can play that up to 12.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's high.
Very cool.
Very fun little game. Very unique. Very ahead of its time. For being in 73, it's
sure. Well, 73, you still had kind of the space racy thing going on, so I can see how that would have been kind of a good concept to be dropping at that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And related to that, we don't actually have a copy of it here, but we do have it's coming to Kickstarter and then retail after a similar way, but it's the Fantasy Trip. It was actually Steve's first RPG. He made it when he was still with Metagaming back in the day. Before he made Steve Jackson games.
Right.
And when he left, they didn't give the rights back. So it's been in this flux, just not being made for generations effectively. And people will still remember it fondly. They just we didn't have it available to us. But he got the rights back last year. We're coming back out with it. So Melee and Wizard are coming to Kickstarter on July 23rd, and then retail hopefully funds. It seems like people are really excited, and then hopefully get into retail because it'll be $14.95 at that point. So really low entry cost RPGs that are really easy to play.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So next we got a game that we've already
now
talked
we're going
about.
modern. I got through the old stuff.
And we've talked about this on our show, Board Games and Beyond. You and I have had an opportunity to play in the studio back in Baltimore.
You've opened up packs. You've had some good pulls. Speaking of good pulls,
all right, yes.
So Desolation blog, you actually mentioned on your Board Games and Beyond, I believe it was last week or the week before, when you opened up packs and stuff, that this has a high chance of getting a lot of rares.
Yeah.
Which is true. We opened up a pack.
The pack the box itself had a note on it that said, do not expect any of these things to be packed in any certain way.
Yeah, we did have a mess up at the factory where it was packed weirdly. We call it fun with rarities. But if you like collecting rares, this is the set for you because it's just tons of rares all over the place. You're going to get lots of rares. Like this is one. I literally just opened up one because I was like, oh, I need some cards to show people. So I opened up this pack that had it had a W, which is the rarest card in this set. And then we've got 2 Vs, which are the second rarest, and then 2 rares. So
Jeez,
it's
one pack.
five rares. Normally you're supposed to be getting 1 rare or higher.
Right.
Yeah, so the rarities are really screwed up. So if you like high rarity cards and you have a hard time getting them in the first set, get this first wave of this.
Right.
This is in stores now. It's our new expansion for Munchkin Collectible Card Game. You got, like I said, we've covered it a ton. If you want to check it out, how to play, we did a really cool back and forth on how to play that. But these work just fine with your existing starter decks. There's new cards for all the different classes, new strategies. We've got some new things in regards to the creature type, monster types. So like some of the monsters that you remember from the first set. Really, in the first set, the only monster that was focused on a lot was Beastie.
Right.
And this one, you got a lot of undead stuff that's got a new focus. There's even new monster types like yokai are in this. Weird stuff. Some really fun stuff, though. And new ways of playing the different classes. So new cards, new strategies open up.
Nice.
So yeah, and we've got new organized play kits in stores now. So if you check out with your local game store, let them know you want to play. They'll get you some organized play with our retail coordinator.
And if anybody wants to find out more about Steve Jackson Games, where do they go?
You can check us out on social media at SJ Games on Facebook and Twitter, or sjgames.com, and we can check out our Daily Illuminator, the longest running internet blog on the internet, period.
Wow.
Yeah, the longest blog at all.
Cool. So I have to ask, is it because you brought packs? You want to crack a pack with me?
Yeah,
Can we crack a pack?
Let's
all
do
right.
one.
All right.
You do one, I do one.
All right, I'm going to take the one in front of you.
Cool.
And you'll take the one in front of me.
Oh, I'll take two. There we go. Let's see what we got.
All right.
Come on. That first pack was as lucky as I can get. I doubt I'll ever pull anything that good.
Does this one have like some expanded artwork? Like
this one doesn't have as many of the alt arts. This one's more focused on the smaller card count, so we don't have as many alt arts in these. I'd expect those more in the bigger set, so there's going to be like a big base set, kind of like we had the original set, and then a few smaller sets after that will have a little less on the alternate arts. A little bit easier to collect this, actually. So if you're into, like, if you're a completionist and you want to get this, it won't take as many boxes to complete to get a whole set of this. Okay. So which camera we want to do this on? Because this is right there. Okay, so got the Manual of Health. It's a common. Hey, commons are hard to get. Oh, is that a rare? I think Alligator. Yeah, that is definitely a rare. Sweet, our first rare. The Me Too medallion. That I think is an uncommon. Holy Ground. I think that's an uncommon as well. Hey, we're getting some uncommons. These are the rare cards in this set. It's actually not bad. The Spider. Uncommon. Spider. Oh, there's another rare. Scepter Schadenfreude.
That's the only rare I got.
Really?
Was the same one, Scepter Schadenfreude.
That's funny. You got the bad pack. Common, second aid kit, Hunting Ground. The Ferret. Oh, no, the Parrot, sorry.
Nice.
Ouchie and Bargain. Shrimpy Imp.
Nice.
I'll be back.
That's
probably my favorite card in this. That's awesome.
I also got, besides the Scepter of Schadenfreude, I got the Gamson of Gambling.
That's a really good card. We have some people running that in our drafts and doing really well with that. Yeah.
Okay. Ice-filled bathtub, which is my life right there. The ice-filled bathtub.
That's a good one.
The house hunting.
And
which I've been doing.
We mentioned it in ours. The artists all had their own classes.
Yeah.
This time the artists got to be unleashed into different classes, or we got some new artists to try some new things out.
Got Missionary Impossible. That's one of the funny things about Munchkin is all of the puns.
Yes. And we carried that over into the CCG for sure.
When you can't find your first aid kit, you go ahead and pull out the second aid kit.
Oh, there's a comment.
The Plains of Pain. Sometimes I feel like that's my living room, but with D4 finding their way onto my floor.
All the caltrops in the world.
And you can't go wrong with Bob. Bob's always a good friend to have. The Crack-a-Doom.
I love that one. I'm a wizard guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Robin Hoodlum. He's the second cousin to Rockin' Robin. Bluebirds of Bitterness. Man, those are some angry-looking bluebirds.
They're really upset. We made that a promo that's coming out later that's actually scary, too. They're very upset.
And much like you had I'll Be Back,
yes,
I've got Chopin.
I was going to say that card's in the set, too. I love that.
And the artwork, of course, iconic and just amazing.
It's amazing. I love it. It's getting better every set, too. It's going to be fun. We just sent the next few sets off. We've had the next few off to print, but I think we're on set 4 or something already.
Nice.
Sprint, so we're excited about that.
Very cool. Well, funny thing about the Munchkin CCG, if you are here at Origins and you see this video and you do not stop by our booth, you're missing out because we are giving away free copies of Game Trade Magazine, and inside every copy here is a, let me just drop it there.
There it is.
There's a pack of Munchkin CCG from the first set.
Yeah, that's a regular booster pack. You get 12 cards. I mean, that's a great value for
great
nothing.
value.
Free booster pack.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
a magazine.
And a magazine.
And a bunch of other promos.
A bunch
too.
of other stuff.
Yeah,
so
I took one because I wanted all the promos, and I got some pretty good pulls out of the back.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. And also, we are doing a contest for those of you that don't know and haven't figured it out yet. If you go to gtmgiveaway.com, do all the little entry points, and you see that big black like ink blot there? That's to represent a bunch of games that you will potentially get.
I want
some of them will be announced. We've announced a few of them already. There's some good games going to be in the pack, and as the weekend progresses, maybe some other games will find their way in there too. And as we add new games, whoever if we get something from different companies, their social media will be an entry point into the game.
Awesome.
You are not actually getting a black box, but I will say this: when we ship it, it's going to be an expensive box to ship because it's going to be huge.
That's a lot of games.
So there you have it, everybody. Thank you so much, Hunter, for stopping by and spending some time with us.
No problem.
Oh, yeah. We also got a table. I forgot to mention that. What do you think of this freaking table?
I was going to say, when I walked up, it looked actually professional. That's pretty nice.
And we'd like to thank Carolina Game Tables for that. They're letting us use their streamer all weekend long here at Origins. If you want to find out more about Carolina Game Tables, just look them up right there on Google, Carolina Game Tables.
Awesome.
All right. We'll be back real soon with our next interview. Thank you, Hunter, again from Steve Jackson Games. I'm Rick. This is Game Trade Media, and we'll be right back.